My name is Eric Benari, and this is Games People Play. In this episode, we are going to play the game Stalking. The stalking game has a most obvious characteristic of exhibitionism, which is hysterical in nature. A woman comes into a strange group, and after a very short time, she raises her leg, exposing herself in a provocative way, and remarks, "Oh my, I have a run in my stocking." That's why it's called the stalking game. This is calculated to arouse the men sexually and make the other women angry. Any confrontation of Miss Whitman is met, of course, with protestations of innocence and counter-accusations. What is significant is Miss Whitman's lack of adaptation. She seldom waits to find out what kind of people she's dealing with or how to time her maneuver strategically. Hence, it stands out as inappropriate and affects her relationships with her associates. In spite of some superficial sophistication, she fails to understand what happened to her in her life because her judgment of human nature is too cynical. The aim is to prove that other people have lascivious minds, and her inner adult is conned by her inner child and her inner parent, usually a lascivious mother, conned into ignoring both of her own provocativeness and any good sense of many of the people she meets. Thus, the game tends to be self-destructive. This is probably a phallic variant of a game whose content depends on the underlying disturbance. An oral variant of this game may be exhibited by women with a deeper pathology and well-developed breasts. Such women often sit with their hands behind their heads so as to thrust their breasts forward. They may draw additional attention to them by remarking about their size or some pathology such as an operation or a lump. Some types of squirming probably constitute an anal variant. The implication of this game is that the woman is sexually available. Thus, it may be played in a more symbolic form by bereaved women who exhibit their widowhood insincerely. Along with the poor adaptation, these women show little tolerance for antithesis. If the game is ignored or countered by a sophisticated therapy group, for example, they may not return to it. The antithesis must be carefully distinguished in the game from reprisal, since the latter signifies that Miss Whitman has won. Women are more skillful at the counter moves in stalking game than men are, who indeed have little incentive to break up this game. The antithesis, therefore, is best left to the discretion of the other women present. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next game that we will play.